was talking a few months ago with a friend about neurodiversity, and I was telling her that if you don't disclose your neurodiversity to your employer, that is basically not good, because you risk not having the support in your workplace, and in that case, you may end up being fired because you didn't disclose your neurodiversity. So I always suggest to inform your employer about your condition, and if they're not supportive, then you don't want to be there, because there are chances that they may not be supportive in other areas anyway. And who wants to work for an employer who's not supportive anyway? So I know that from personal experience that neurodiversity can affect personal finance and financial security. Can you discuss that?
Yeah. So it's kind of like what I was saying earlier in terms of it's all well and good to attract neurodivergent people or any, protected characteristic group into your workplace. But how are you at keeping them? And what often affects whether or not they stay is how they're received in the workplace. So literally just this morning I was in Birmingham speaking about neurodiversity as well, and we were talking about the fact that sometimes people are penalized in the workplace for the very traits that traits that manifest their condition, which they've spoken about already with their managers or people that they work with, but when it actually starts to show, they're treated in a way that they shouldn't be. So I think that is an important thing to address on the part of employers. Like, when you are hiring all of these people, don't let it just be for diversity optics, because you're doing more harm than good, and it has wider ramifications, because these people, they come into your workplace, they're excited to be part of your team and to offer their unique skill set, but they're also probably nervous about how they're going to be received, and yeah, the confidence thing. If they are mistreated because of their neurodivergent traits, that can affect their sense of self, their sense of self-worth, what they're capable of, and therefore, if you're self-conscious about your work and everything, again, that's misdirected energy, and that means you're not able to be your best self and do your best work, which, like you said, can lead to you being let go from the company, which, especially in this job market, it's so hard to find another role. So that could potentially mean there's more people who find themselves unemployed or underemployed, and maybe having to, be receiving state support kind of thing. And again, it's part of the broader pattern when it comes to social mobility and social justice issues. Like, diversity initiatives exist to kind of remedy the problem of a lack of representation of people with these protected characteristics. But if you are attracting these people in, or you're enticing them to come in because you want to be seen as inclusive, but when they come here, they aren't supported, and you're basically sending them back out and reinforcing the problem. It's a cycle, right? But also, it can be, depending on the situation and the severity, it can be devastating, and this is how it can also drive intergenerational stuff. So I'm really big on intergenerational patterns and intergenerational healing. But I'll use a personal example. My mother left her. The last full-time job that she had was in 2010, and she left as a result of mistreatment in the workplace in and around the time when she lost her father. So dealing with bereavement and toxic workplace, plus raising a young family, that was a lot for her to deal with. And even though she's had various jobs here and there since, she's not worked full-time ever since. So she was basically what's the word I want to use? She was frustrated out of work, and the effect on her well-being was such that not only did she leave the workplace, but she also left the workforce. And when you think about this in terms of broader patterns, that also causes, or it affects, like, in terms of social mobility, that means you're affecting people's ability to progress, which means, you know, poverty is being perpetuated, or intergenerational trauma and cycles of poverty. All of these things go hand in hand. And so again, what I try and encourage people to do is connect the dots. Like, it's not just about ticking the box and saying, oh, we have X amount of neurodivergent employees, but really and truly, what happens when they get here matters beyond just what happens in this building. Like, there's a reason why there's a lack of representation, because oftentimes, even if people from protected groups make it into the workplace, they don't make it to the top because they're just probably so fed up that they leave a lot earlier. So yeah, connect the dots.